So what is that we were talking about in the previous class, ma? Can anyone of you tell? Schedules. Okay. What do you mean by a schedule? Can anyone of you tell what do you mean by a schedule? Sequence of instructions, set of instructions that specify order in which concurrent transactions are executed. Okay, so fine. So are you clear with the different ways in which we have? I have shown you the schedules, ma, wherein one transaction follows the other one. Okay. And then the next topic was concerned with what? After schedules, what was the next topic? Serializability. Okay. So what are the disadvantages of running transactions serially, ma? Disadvantages of running transactions serially. Are there any disadvantages? Yes, what are they? You can also unmute yourself and talk, ma. Roll number 63. Yeah, can you tell me the disadvantages of running transactions serially? Okay, fine. So I hope at least you understood resource utilization. Dirty read is a problem with what, Anil? Dirty read is a problem with serial schedules. Waiting time is less or more 63. Waiting time is less or more 63. These are the problems with respect to your concurrent execution of transactions. It is not with respect to serial execution of transactions. Okay. The problems, the concurrency problems were whatever we have discussed: dirty read, unrepeatable read problem, lost update problem, and phantom read problem. So I hope I've given you a clear view of this, what is what, along with examples. Okay, I've given you some working examples on that. So what is dirty read? Reading the data written by an uncommitted transaction. So whenever you're trying to read data which has been written or updated by an uncommitted transaction. By an uncommitted transaction is called as your dirty read problem. Then we are going with unrepeatable read problem. This occurs when a transaction gets to read different values of the same variable without it performing any updates, without that transaction performing any updates. So maybe in between the reads with respect to transaction T2, transaction T1 has updated the value of a particular variable. That leads to the concept of your unrepeatable read problem. The second one is lost update. So the updates made by the transaction are lost. The updates made by the transaction are lost. So see here, you can easily see here two write operations with respect to a data item A. So read A, write A. This is the update made by transaction T1, and after some time, transaction T2 is updating the same variable. So this particular update which was made by transaction T1 is lost. That is the reason we are calling it as lost update problem. Lost update problem. The next one is phantom read problem. Phantom read. This problem occurs when a transaction reads some value of a variable. And after some time, whenever it is trying to read the same variable, that variable is not existing. So maybe another transaction had removed the variable or deleted the variable. So that is an example over here. Transaction T1, read of X. Then transaction T2 is reading the value of X. The same value would be there because there's no write operation over here. And then after some time, there is an interleaving and I'm performing a delete operation. Okay. So what will happen is this particular database object would be deleted, and then transaction T2 is trying to read the same variable once again. Now here what will happen, since X has been deleted by transaction T1, this particular value X would not be seen over here. This leads to the concept of your phantom read problem. Okay, these are some of the problems which are caused by running your transactions concurrently. Okay, running the transactions concurrently. Now, what we have to do is we have to work with the concept of converting concurrent schedules into serial schedules. Converting concurrent schedules into serial schedules. Okay, so in the previous class, I've just started the concept. I told you what is a schedule, and example schedules have given you 4 schedules, wherein it's a concept of serial schedule as well as a concurrent schedule. So this was the example where T1 is followed by T2. A serial schedule in which T1 is followed by T2, and this is also a serial schedule in which T2 is followed by T1. And here I'm talking about what? Something which is not a serial schedule, but it is equivalent to a serial schedule. In the sense that the sum of A plus B is preserved over here. And the last one is a concurrent schedule where the values of A plus B is not preserved. So this was the way you are trying to represent the chronological order in which the steps of a transaction are being executed. Okay. Now, the most important concept, while you are going with your GATE or any of your interviews, this would be most useful, which is nothing but the serializability concept. Because even though you are trying to run n number of transactions, internally they would be serialized. Okay, internally they would be serialized. So see, serializability, the basic assumption would be every transaction should preserve the database consistency. If at all my transaction is not trying to preserve the consistency, there is no fun in executing the transaction. So before I start and after I start, the database, whatever was existing, that should be consistent. Okay, and the different ways in which you can convert into a serializable schedule is, one is conflict serializability, the other one is view serializability. So if at all a concurrent schedule given to you is equal to any of these two things, I can say that it is serializable. Okay. So I'll be directly going with the concepts over here. So see, I'm working with the first one, the first concept, conflict serializability. See, what is conflict serializability? A schedule is called conflict serializable if we can convert it into a serial schedule after swapping its non-conflicting instructions. So what I have to do is, I am given with a schedule S1. If at all I am able to convert that schedule into S2, swapping the non-conflicting instructions, then I can say that it is conflict serializable. And what are the different conflicting instructions? I'll just tell you. See, what are conflicting instructions? Yesterday's class, I think the previous class I told you, what are the conflicting operations or instructions? Two operations are said to be conflicting if they satisfy all the following three conditions. Okay, firstly, what you have to do is you have to see that they satisfy the given three conditions. The first one is both the operations should belong to different transaction. Both the operations should belong to different transactions. Okay, meaning I should have a transaction T1, I should have a transaction T2. Now, if at all I say read of A and read of, sorry, I'll make it as write of A. Okay. So read of A, write of A belong to transaction T1 and there's nothing under transaction T2 as of now. So I cannot say that even though read and write operations are there, both these are not conflicting because they belong to they belong to the same transaction. The condition should be both the operations should belong to different transactions. And both operations are working on the same data item. So the first condition, I hope you understood, and the second condition here would be, if at all I write here write of B, there's no problem with this. I write here write of B, there's no problem with this because the second condition states that both the operations, both the conflicting instructions should be working on the same database item. But here I'm working with different database items. The first one is read of A and write of B. Okay. And these two would be conflicting if any of these two operations is a write operation. If at all these two are conflicting, if and only if any of these two are write operations. So indirectly I can say that when two operations conflict would be two operations conflict would be there is a read and write operation, there is a write and read operation, and there is a write and write operation. So in these three cases, the operations with respect to two transactions would conflict. That is what I've showed you in the previous class. See, II and IJ of transactions TI and TJ. There are two instructions II and IJ of transactions TI and TJ. When would this conflict would be? This would conflict if II is read of Q, IJ is read of Q. So since none of the operations is a write operation, they do not conflict. None of the operations is a write operation, they do not conflict. Now the second would be II is read of Q, IJ is write of Q. Since one of the operation is write, they conflict. Now instead of write of Q, if at all I'm going with instead of write of Q over here, if at all I say write of W, I'll go with write of A. Then even though one of the operation is write operation, it is with respect to different transactions, but it is working on different database objects. So these two instructions will not conflict until I say they work on the same database object. That is a concept mark. Try to understand this. Okay, they conflict. Now here II is write Q, IJ is read Q. Obviously they conflict. One of the operation is write and the database object is same. Next is II is write Q, IJ is write Q. They conflict. Okay. I hope it's clear, ma. Now, conflict serializability. So I hope you understood the concept of conflicting instructions. Unless or until they are non-conflicting instructions, you cannot swap the operations mark. Try to understand that. Now, if a schedule S can be transformed into a schedule S dash, S can be transformed into S dash by a series of swaps. I hope you understand swapping, interchanging of non-conflicting instructions. Of non-conflicting instructions, we say that S and S dash are conflict equivalent. Both S and S dash are conflict equivalent. Now, try to look at the example over here. Okay, so there are two transactions and all the steps with respect to the transactions are given. T1 is read A, write A. There's an interleaving T2 read A, write A. Then again read B, write B and read B, write B. Now, if at all I am able to convert this particular thing into this particular thing, then both these are conflict equivalent. I can say that this is a serial version of this particular schedule S3, which is nothing but schedule 3. Okay. Now see, Amma, what I'm trying to do is read A, write A is there. I'll go with T1 followed by T2. T1 followed by T2. So read A is there, no issues. Write A is there, no issues. Now what I have to do is read B, I have to get to the top after write A. So read B and write A. I have to compare the operation read B with write A. Is there any conflicting between this, ma? Both are working on different database objects, so I do not have any issues. So what will happen? I'll just write it for you, ma. 1 second. See, I'm going with T1 and T2. I'm going with T1 and T2. Okay, read A. Write A. Then I'm going with read A, write A. Not able to go to the beginning. Okay, now see, what I'm trying to do is, I'll try to work over here, Amma. I'll just try to swap the concepts over here. Okay, this is not possible over here. Wait a minute. Okay, now try to understand what I have to do here. See, read B is compared with write A operation. Read B is compared with write A operation. One second, I'll just increase the font. Okay, T1, T2, read of A, write of A, again going with read of A, write of A, read B, write B, read of B, write of B. Okay, sorry for the delay. Right, now see what I'm trying to do over here. The same T1 and T2 I'm trying to take. Now here, see, what I'm trying to do is T1 followed by T2. Okay, so read A, write A is there. Now what should be my resultant over here should be, I have to work with a way which says that my operations would go like this. P1 would be here, read of A, read of B, sorry, write of A, read of B, read of B, and write of B. This is what I have to make happen. Right, read of A, write of A. Okay, this way I have to do. Now what I have to do for this is, I'll be leaving these two steps as it is and these two steps as it is. Read A, write A with respect to transaction T1 would be left as it is. Read A, write A with respect to transaction T2 would be left as it is. Now what is the next step would be RB, read of B. Read of B would be present in the next step. Now what I'm trying to do is, read of B is compared with write of A. Read of B is compared with write of A. both are non-conflicting instructions. Both are non-conflicting instructions. So what will happen would be, I'll be having here read of B. I'll be having read of B over here. Read of B. Read of B I'll be having. Then what? In the previous step, I'll be having read of B, and next step I'll be having write of B, and here I'll be having write of B. So this way I'm just trying to swap them. I'm only considering these four steps as of now. See, read A, write A, read B, write B. So since read B and write A are non-conflicting instructions, read B will go to the place where write A was there, and write A will come to the place where read B was there. So that is what is happening over here. Read B has gone one step above, write B has come one step below. Okay. Now after that, what I have to do is I have to compare read B with read B. Read B with read B. Sorry, it is read A. Okay, read B with read A. There's no conflicting instruction. So what I can do, I can write read B over here and make read A go to the next level. So here both of them would be same. Now again what I'm trying to do is write W is compared with write A. Write W is compared with write A. Not an issue. There's no conflicting instruction. So what will happen? Here write B would be present, and here I'll be having write A. Okay. Now again what will happen? Write B is compared with write A. Not an issue. There's no conflicting instruction. So what will happen? Again what happens here would be, here I'll be having write B, and here I'll be having read A. Now after this, I've got two more instructions, read B with respect to transaction T2 and write B with respect to transaction T2. Now what is happening over here? See, T1 is executing first with all these four steps. Once T1 has completed the execution, then T2 is executing. Now I'm able to swap non-conflicting instructions. I'm able to swap non-conflicting instructions and try to get an equivalent schedule, which is a serialized version of the original schedule. Then I can say that both are equivalent. And the new schedule that is formed is conflict equivalent schedule. That is the conflict equivalent schedule. Is it clear, or you are having any issues, ma? Is it clear, or you are having any issues? I'll give you one more example on conflict serializable version, ma, so that you will be able to understand that clearly. Okay, fine. Now try to look at this example of conflict serializability. So T1 is having read A, read B. There's interleaving from T1 to T2. Now here I've got RA, RB, WB. Read A, read B, WB. And here I've got something which is write A. Now I can go with either T1 followed by T2 or T2 followed by T1, or you can go with both the cases. Now what I'm trying to do here would be read B. Read A I do not have anything to see with. Then I'm working with read B. Read B compared with read A. Is there any issue with read B, read A? Both are working on different database objects and both are read operations. So no issue. what I can do is I can get read B down, or I can start working with the bottom and make WA to the top. So since moving two operations would be difficult for me, I'll go with right AM. Okay, right A compared with right B. Is there any problem right A compared with right B? No, both are non-conflicting instructions. So I can make my right A come to this particular position, right of A over here. Okay, and this particular right B I can delete, and this I can make it here. No issues. Okay. Now right A is compared with right B. Is there any problem with right A and right B? A and B are both different database objects. So what? Right A can go to the top again, right of A, and read B can come to the bottom. This was read of B. Okay. Now, write A compared with read A. So try to understand here, A and A both are same database objects. Write A, read A, both are same database objects. And one of the operations with respect to the transactions is write. So these are conflicting instructions. These are conflicting instructions. So what I cannot perform a swap operation over here. So there is an interleaving from T1 to T2 before any of the transactions has been completed. So that says that both are not conflict equivalent schedules. You can look at the same way from the top. If at all you are able to convert that from the top, it's fine. But if at all you are not able to convert from the top also, there's no way you can change it. Okay. So this was the original schedule. Now, read B with read A, no issues. Read B with read B, no issues. Read B with write B. One of the operations is what? It's a write operation. So I cannot swap these two operations. Hence, I do not have conflict serializable schedule for this particular schedule. Is it clear, Rohit? Is it clear, Rohit? Any issues? Okay. Now, try to do this. Try to work on this example for 2 minutes. Are you able to convert, Before that, did you understand how you're converting into conflict serializable? All of you? Got it, all of you? Now, all of you look at the solution now. How we are going about. I'm going with T1 followed by T2. See, this is the first swap. T1's read A operation is compared with T2's read A operation. So read A, both are non-conflicting instructions. Both are non-conflicting instructions. I can swap. So read A has gone to the top. Read A of T1 has come down. So here what is happening here would be T2 would be executed first followed by T1. If at all, both are conflict serializable. Then I'm trying to compare read A of T1 with read B of T2. No issues with that also. So you can perform a swap. This is the next image. So T1, T2, read A, read B, followed by read A, read B, and only write B operation is left out. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to compare read A with write B. Read A with write B. So even though one of the operation is what? Write operation, both are working on different database objects, both are non-conflicting instructions. I can go with swapping. So this is the final what? Schedule given to you. So here what is happening? T2 is executing as a single unit. T1 is executing as a single unit. So both are conflict serializable. Both are conflict serializable. Is there any issue with the solution, ma? Any issues with the schedules? Please respond. Is it clear? Shall I go with the next topic or what, ma? Which one, Shravya? Which one do you want? this example. Okay. CMR, read A of T1 is compared with read A of T2. Both are non-conflicting instructions. I am making a swap. I can perform a swap. After swapping RA of T1 and RA of T2, we get this particular schedule. Okay, so RA of T2 will be going to the top and RA of T1 is coming to the bottom. Next, RA of T1 is compared with RB of T2. So both are non-conflicting instructions. Both are non-conflicting instructions. So there's no issue. Okay. So RB is going to the top and RA is coming to the place where RB was there. Now what? RA is compared with write B. Both are different database objects. So I can perform a swap easily. And after swapping RA of T1 and WB of T2, we get what? This schedule, which is conflict equivalent schedule for the given schedule. Is it clear, Ma? Surya, Shravya? Okay, the next one is view equivalent. The next serializability is view serializability. So two schedules S1 and S2 are said to be view equivalent if they satisfy the following conditions. So you have to look for the following conditions. The first one is initial read. The second one is final write. And the third one is update read. So these are the three conditions that needs to be satisfied whenever you're working with view equivalent schedules. View equivalent schedules. See, I'll just make it simple for you. Let S and S dash be two schedules with the same set of transactions. The condition is both should have the same set of transactions. If at all they do not have the same set of transactions, they will not have the same operations. S and S dash are view equivalent if the following three conditions are met. So first condition, this is what you have to follow, Ma. If in a schedule S, transaction Ti reads the initial value of Q. If in a schedule S, transaction Ti reads the initial value. Try to understand why it's the initial value of Q. Then in schedule S dash also, the same transaction must read the initial value of Q. The same transaction must read the initial value of Q. Take an example over here. Okay, see, I have a schedule S1. This is my schedule S1 and this is my schedule S2. So I have got two transactions here, T1 followed by T2. And here also T1 followed by T2. Okay, so T1 is reading the initial value of A. Here also T1 is reading the initial value of A. And initial read is, here the initial read means the first read operation on a particular data item. It is the first read operation on a particular data item. So what is the first read operation here with respect to schedule S1 is T1 and with respect to schedule S2 is also T1. Instead of this, if at all T2 is reading the first read of A, then the first condition is itself gone. Okay, that is with respect to the initial read operation. Next, you have if in schedule S, transaction Ti executes read Q and that value was produced by a transaction Tj. So I'm trying to read a value of a variable Q that was produced by a transaction Tj. Then it should also happen in the same way with respect to S dash. If in a schedule S, transaction Ti executes read Q. So maybe a transaction T1 is trying to read the value of a variable called A, which was produced by transaction T2, Then in S dash also, Ti must read the value of Q that was produced by the transaction Tj. See here. Here, T2 is writing the value of A. After that, T3 is reading the value updated by T2. So even though T1 is performing a write operation, but T3 is trying to read the value of A that was updated by T2, not by T1. Because after T1, T2 is trying to update. Hence, T3 is reading the value of A, which was updated by T2. Now in schedule S dash also, it should happen in the same way. So T3 is performing the read operation on A, not an issue, but T3 is performing a read operation on A, which was updated by T1, not T2. Because after T2, there is a write operation with respect to T1. After T2, there is a write operation with respect to T1. So what will happen here? Both are not view equivalent because the second condition does not hold good. Instead of T1 writing the value later, if at all T2 would have written the value later, then this would have been equivalent. So that is the second case. Now the last case would be the transaction, if any, that performs the final write Q operation in S must also perform the final write Q operation in S dash. So if at all there is any write operation with respect to S, which would be the final write operation with respect to a particular transaction, then in S dash also the same transaction should perform the final write on Q. Okay. See, that is called as a final write. Now here, there are two write operations with respect to the schedule S1. Two write operations with respect to schedule S1. T1 is writing, T3 is writing. But what is the final write operation would be T3 because it was updated at the last. Now this is with respect to schedule S. If at all, T3 is also writing the final write operation with respect to S2, then I say both are equivalent. So see here, T2 is performing a read operation, and after that T1 is performing a write operation. Then at the last, T3 is performing a write operation. So this is the final write that is being done by T3, and this is the final write that is being done by T3. So in both S1 and S2, final write is being done by T3. So I do not have any issues or anything against the third condition. So if at all these three conditions are satisfied, then I say that both schedules are view equivalent. Both schedules are view equivalent. Is it okay? You have any questions, ma? Is view serializability clear, ma? You have any questions, you can ask. Would you like to go through the conditions once? Just go through this slide once. You have any questions, you can ask. Sima, this is an example given to you. Try to find whether both are view equivalent or not. So this is schedule S1. The first one is S1. Try to go with all the three conditions and check whether both are view equivalent or not. Yes, ma, did you do? So, are they equivalent, both of them, or no? What about others, ma? I got only 2 responses. Now try to see, Amma. The solution for this, I'm working with a simple process over here, Amma. What are the data items here? A and B are the data items. So in both the transactions, I'm working with data items A and B. So what are the data items that I need to work with is A and B. Now, what are the three conditions that needs to be satisfied? The first one is initial read, the second one is final write, and the third one is update read. Okay, so going with initial read with respect to database item A. So T1 is reading the initial read. So T1 is performing the initial read on A. So here initial read on A is taken as T1. Now, with respect to B, reading the database item B, again T1 is performing the first read operation on B. So initial read with respect to schedule S1 is T1 and T1. Now initial read with respect to schedule S2 I'm looking at. So T1 is performing the first read operation on A and on B also. And on B also. Okay, so T1 and T1. Hence, there is no problem with initial read. Now, final write would be final write on A is with respect to S1 T2. I've written T2 over there. And with respect to S2, it is T2 again. So no issues with A. Now I'm working with B. B, what is the final write on B, Amma? Final write on B is with respect to T2 in S1, and here also it's with respect to T2 on S2. So T2, T2, both it is T2, T2, no issues with this. Now update read on database item A. See, here after writing, I'm performing a read with respect to T2. Write A, read A. Here I am performing write A, but after that I am not trying to read A, Amma. So final write of A would be T2. Final write of B would be again T2. Here, what I am trying to do, T1 is writing the A value, which is being read by T2. So I have written T2, and T1 is writing the value of B, which is being read by B. T2 over here, read B, T2. So again T2. Since initial read, final write, and update read, all the three conditions are met, both the schedules are view equivalent. Both the schedules are view equivalent. I hope it's clear, ma. Now, try to work on this particular example. Try to work on this particular example. Is it clear or any problems? Conflict serializable and view serializable examples, ma. I find only Surya 72, 63, 68 in the class, ma. All the others, I don't know what they are doing. Done, ma? Am I any problems with the two concepts, ma? Serializability. Both are very important concepts. Yes. Any problems? Any questions, ma? Next, we have to go with testing for serializability, Amma. We'll be working on that in the next class. So you will be using something called as a precedence graph, and then we have to work with log-based protocols, timestamp-based protocols, all that stuff we have to work with. Okay, that would be simple topics only, but it would be interesting as well. Okay, now I'm switching on some activities for you.